I'm a motherfucking beast, girl. In this jungle out here, beware. When you see me in these motherfucking streets, girl. Like I don't even care, be clear. I'ma tell you exactly what you wanna hear sometimes. I'ma mean that shit sometimes. I won't mean that shit, I'm trying to find a way to beat that shit. Tell you exactly what you wanna hear, and I'ma have fun with it. Give me your heart and I'll run with it. Give it back in pieces when I'm done with it.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Relationship DNA Podcast. I'm your co-host, Ant Smalls.
And it's your co-host, Renee.
Welcome back to another one. If you're new to the platform, we'd like to say thank you for coming. If you're a returning viewer, we'd like to say thank you for supporting us and continue to watch. We have our website, www.therelationshipdma.com. You can also email us at therelationshipdna@gmail.com. You can watch our show on MNN, Manhattan Neighborhood Network. You can watch us on the Bronx Net. You can watch us on YouTube, and you can listen to us on all of your favorite podcast platforms. So we're doing our best to try to broaden our horizon, get our reach out there, and we just need y'all to start, hitting us up. Send us some emails with some questions, something that you want us to answer. If you want to be a guest on the show, do all of that stuff. We're here for you. So our show can't be nothing without the viewers. So we want to say thank you. Who we are, what we are. We are the relationship podcast for our demographic, young and old as well. We're not discriminating against anybody, but our goal is to try to make better relationships in our community. We feel like we talk about these topics all the time. So let's put it on record. Let's have everybody else listen. Let's have everybody else chime in and try to make our relationships better in dating. So with that being said, Renee, we're going to the first segment. Morning affirmation. What do you have for the folks?
Well, we're talking about expectations, and I feel with expectations, there's a gray area, or there's what we think may happen and what there is reality. So usually I say a quote, a book, a lyric, or something. So I found an interesting article. It's about expectations versus reality. And one of the things that I got from this article was the perception of social media. I feel like social media can really cloud a lot of different things that's going on in people's lives. And I feel that with expectations, people base their lives upon what they see on social media. So it was a little chart that I wanted to express. It says how to manage your expectations. Ask yourself what you're expecting from a situation. Look for the positives in what you already have. Remind yourself that social media posts aren't always realistic. And don't beat yourself up for feeling disappointed. So I feel like those 4 pointers from this article was very good. And also that they chimed in on social media, that it's only like a highlight of people's lives. It's a filtered perspective of people's lives, and we shouldn't base what we see on social media to our real lives.
Definitely, I will agree. Social media is an opportunity to escape, just like a fetish or a fantasy or
a TV show.
A drug. Television can be a drug. Drugs can be a drug. Sex can be a drug. Food can be a drug. Anything that consumes your time to escape from reality. Don't allow it to cloud your judgment. So I will agree with that. So to piggyback off of what you're saying, when we talk about more than affirmation and expectation, I hear a lot of people say, you have to do what I can do or more. But are you what you seek? Start being what you want from people. Start giving people what you want in return. And hopefully those people will start to gravitate towards you. Hopefully you will build your own self-equity up to be able to attract exactly what you want. But don't keep looking above what you're willing to give. So that's my affirmation for the morning. All right. So the next segment, as always, relationship role play. So, as I pull up the timer, you want to go 3 minutes this time?
Yes, I need more time. I'm always caught up.
All right, so I set it for 3 minutes. Okay, let's get the people the scenario. All right, so scenario is couple is coming up on a 3-year anniversary, right? Woman brings up the fact that he hasn't proposed yet. Boyfriend counters that he is not ready and he'll propose when he is. Girlfriend hints that she won't wait much longer. And
Wow.
play off the scene. All right. So you have the character trait of anger. And I have the character trait of blamer. So as we set the timer, we act this thing out. Are you ready?
I'm ready to be angry.
Ready, set, go.
Well, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, baby. How's everything?
Would be better if we were married.
Why do you always go with this married thing?
Because it's been 3 years. Like, what are you waiting for?
Well, I want to make sure that one, I'm prepared to. I want to make sure I have what I need in place in order to take that leap. But I'm working towards it. I need more time.
Time for what? Working towards what? What are you working towards?
My career, try to get us a house, try to get us a foundation. So if you keep pressuring me, it's like you're kind of like pushing me away in a sense.
How am I pushing you away? I'm trying to build something for us together. Your career, when is it taking off? Like, we got this together. We can do this together. And you seem like you want to do things separately. So what is it about your career and the things? What else you looking for? Am I not what you're looking for?
How am I doing this separately if we're together and we're celebrating a 3-year anniversary? Like, that don't make any sense.
What I'm saying is, you said you're waiting for your career for us to get married.
No, that's not what I said. I said I'm trying to get my career to go off. Like, we're both working on a career. We're both working on our relationship. So give me an opportunity. Like, it's not there yet. I'm not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere, but don't push it on me.
I've given you 3 years.
And
How long more?
I gave you 3 of your happiest years of your life.
Yeah.
Like when we got together, you didn't say you need to be married in 3 years. So why are you now putting that pressure on me?
Well, what I'm saying is I didn't expect for this relationship to last this long. So I'm feeling that if 3 years is not enough for you, then maybe they say within 6 months, the person you want to marry. Well, it's been 3 years. You don't know yet?
Well, in six months, you didn't propose. So why I got to propose?
Oh, so now I got to get down on my knee and ask you to marry me?
That's not the point. The point I'm just saying is you said 6 months. I'm only going by your logic.
Yeah, but you flipped it on me and said I should be asking you to get married.
Because you said in 6 months you should know. So
I know I want to get married, but I'm waiting on you.
Where's my ring?
So you want us to be non-traditional? So I have to go get a ring. I'll go get the ring. I'll go get the ring. That's not the issue.
I'll get the ring, but
it sounds like a lot of bong, 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 bong.
It's not. It's not. No, it's not Charlie Brown. But you talking a lot and you're not listening.
I'm listening. You said your career, your time. How much time? 4 more years? 5 more years? How much more time?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. How about that?
So you're giving me like an ultimatum or something?
I'm not giving you an ultimatum. I'm being clear. I'm having transparency.
That's not clear. That's almost like a threat.
It's no threat. A threat is I'm gone. I'm out. I'm saying that I don't know how much more longer will I be here.
How did you like the extended time on this one?
I did. I felt like we were able to like really go into the topics, like, because I feel like when we do like 2 minutes, we just scratch the surface and then we just leave it like there, like to the next episode. So I feel like we were able to like dish out issues. Like we were able to see like, okay, he needs time. He wants to work on his career. She's like, okay, well, I feel like we could do this together. And then you go, well, why did you ask me? And I'm like, well, you want to be non-traditional now? Like, I feel we were able to like really not go at each other, but we were really able to see each other's point of views and build up on that. So I think 3 minutes is a good time.
All right, cool. So we'll stick with the 3 minutes. So fans, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I really do hope that y'all enjoyed that. As we have acting experiences, she was on Nightlife and I was in a movie that never came out. But I still got my IMDb credit. So you can look me up.
That's all that matters.
So let's see. You ready to go to the topic?
Let's go. What are we waiting for?
Topic is, I did not sign up for this. When you hear that phrase, which I'm quite sure you either said yourself or heard before from any of your girlfriends, when you hear the phrase of the topic, I did not sign up for this, what comes to mind?
Work. Where they be giving you extra responsibilities and you be like, this ain't what y'all paying me for. This is above me. And also when drama, like, well, I haven't had no drama really in my life with relationships or situationships because I really haven't been involved that deeply with someone. So it's been kind of drama free. But when you say I didn't sign up for this, I ain't sign up for like all the extraness that you're bringing in this relationship or this situationship, stating I didn't the I've had situations where Barb, this is Shirley type moments, like you didn't know that there was another girlfriend around, or you didn't know what was going on, or I didn't sign up for the drama that you got going on. I didn't know this was who you really were as a person. Who this other man, like this is the representative, and now this is someone else. Now I'm seeing the real you. I didn't sign up for this BS. So I feel like I've been there before. Yes. And glad I ain't there now.
I've heard the phrase from a lot of my female friends that come to me for advice, but I've never actually been told that directly. So when I hear the phrase, I didn't sign up for it, in my mind, the first thing I say, well, what the hell did we sign in the first place?
Exactly.
So why is the word sign, signature, applied to this phrase, and how does it affect the conversation that somebody might say to a person, I did not sign up to this? What is that actually saying in terms of what we signed and how it affects the other person hearing it?
Well, I think when we think of a signature, you're thinking of a commitment, you're thinking of a disclosure. So when you're saying I didn't sign up for this, it's like something came out of the blue. Like I didn't read the blueprint, or this is the fine lines, or this is what they say, a lemon. Like, when you go get a car and you look at all the steps, you did the Carfax, this ain't it, and I think that's what people say, I didn't sign up for this. Like this ain't it. This is not like what you given is not giving what it's supposed to give, basically. You know how people say that. So I feel that's what it means. Like
okay, so when you get into a relationship, are there actually any words that are spoken that creates this unverbal agreement?
Well, I would say now how I am as a person and how I was before. I was very mysterious. I was the type of girl that I felt like I would show you the signs of what you wanted, so you would know, like kind of like a mind reader. Like I wanted men to be a mind reader, and I was just like oblivious and dumb. So now I feel like I tell you everything. I feel like if I don't like something, I say it. I'm a person that wears my emotions on my sleeve. You can tell when I'm not feeling you. You can tell when I'm engaged. So if you feel me coming back, or you feel like I'm not there 100%, it's because I'm a person that cannot be phony or fake. Like I'm gonna let you know how I'm feeling. That's just who I am as a person. So I feel like when you say you sign a contract or a negotiation, or you tell people how you feel or different things like that, there's no ghosting. There's no skeptical situation. It is what it is. So I feel like when people say, oh, I didn't sign up for this, it's like, well, this is coming out the blue. This is not what I wanted. This is not who you say you were. And I want out. Basically, it's like, I'm out. I didn't sign up for this shit,
So you bring up something interesting. And your experience from your dating experience and your friends that have been on dating experiences, do men and women directly say what they sign up for on these dates?
No, because you don't go on the first date saying that, okay, after we have this drink, I'm expecting you to come upstairs and we go on Netflix and chill. I mean, I wish, honestly, now, I wish that if that's what a man wants, he say it from the jump and give me the decision that if I want to Netflix and chill with him or not. Because I'm at a point in my life where I may want to, I'm a single woman and I got needs. I may want to just hook up and never see you again. Or I may just want to keep this, as he's a sexual guy. I'm attracted to him. Maybe I want to see where sparks go. And I just want some right now. So I feel like we should, at a certain age and time, just stop playing games and stop wasting time and see what people want. Now it's when we keep going into these situations thinking it's one thing, or we just keep hearing the sweet nothings. I laugh because I forgot who said something about sweet nothings. This guy I used to date was saying the sweet nothings or whatever. So that always comes to my head. You know, they telling you the sweet nothings, which is sweet, but it is really nothing because it's just keeping you engaged and just keeping you along, ringing you around. I feel at this point in time that we don't have time for that because we're in a society right now that's acceptable to have a sneaky link. It's acceptable to have a side dude. It's acceptable to have all these open relationships and situationships. So let's be frank with each other and let's just do what we're gonna do. Don't waste my time.
So you said a lot.
I did, sorry.
But I want to hone in on the main focus of what you're saying. You said that you hope that a guy would be direct, right?
Yes. Yes.
And sometimes we call them side pieces. Sometimes we call them cut buddies. Sometimes we call them
links.
plumbers because they be clogging your pipes. We call them a lot of things. But
new phrase I heard was unplugging. Oh no, plug in. My bad. Plug in. Plugging in.
But I have a question directed at what you're saying. Why don't women be more direct with what they want?
I feel nowadays women are.
So then how do y'all end up with saying I didn't sign up for this?
Because we get fooled. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you. We get fooled. We get caught up. It's human nature. You say, okay, oh, I like him. Like, you start emotions kick in and things happen. We got to take accountability for that. I'm old enough to take accountability and say, okay, I knew. But sometimes you wake up and you be like, you know what? The dick ain't that good. I got to like, this ain't it. Like, this ain't it. I ain't signed up for this. Like, nah.
So it sounds like y'all not as direct as y'all want to be.
No, I mean, I could be direct with my intention, but that don't mean I'm following through because I could get caught up in the rapture.
Well, one thing we always say is actions speak louder than words, but a person's true intentions speak louder than their actions. And in order to figure out somebody's intention, it takes time. Go ahead. I was gonna say when you do something that you know is gonna hurt me, what was your true intention? Was your intention to actually hurt me on purpose, or was your intention was to do what you wanted to do and think that I would never find out? That's the difference between somebody's intention. Some people actually do things directly to hurt you without telling you. I just need to know the purpose behind why you did it.
I think that there's people who do that, and I feel like they don't deserve any grace. And then there are people who have good intentions and they get caught up. And if you take accountability for it and you're open and transparent after the fact, or you may own up to what you did, it's on that person who was affected to say if they're going to give that person grace or forgive them or move forward in that relationship, situationship, whatever situation they got going on. I'm not one to place judgment on anybody's situation because I've been in crazy things, or I'm a single woman, so I can't really tell, unless I always tell my friends, if he's not beating on you, or he's not hurting your kids or taking money from you, if you decide to stay in a relationship with a cheater, or you decide to stay in a relationship, even though cheating could be some type of mental or whatever abuse, or if it's not anything that's detrimental to you or your health, the safety of your kids, and you decide to stay in that relationship, I'm not going to be the one to tell you to leave him, because you ain't going to be like, well, girl, you told me to leave him. I'm going to mind the business that pays me. If you asking me for advice or what I would do in your situation, definitely will give it to you and be open and transparent because you're my friend. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to tell my friend to leave somebody unless they, are causing physical harm, or I feel it's a detriment to themselves and people around.
So I have a question on, is there a certain length of time when you're dating and you're going through your relationship ups and downs that you should know by now if somebody has the intent to be married or give you whatever you felt you signed up for? Is there a time frame on it?
I don't know. See, me, I was based on time frames a lot, and I felt like I got warped into these time zones in my head, but then the time zones really didn't add up because I'm still with the person. And I said, "Ooh, I feel at this time we should be here." And like I said, get caught up in the rapture, and you just forget about it. So I used to be a person that was caught up in time, and now as a 36 single woman, not married with no kids, it's like, okay, well, a person who had this concept of time, where did your time go? Or did you waste a lot of time? But as of now, I don't look at it as time. I look at it as space, or I look at steps. If I feel like I'm with a guy and we have great communication, we're open, we're transparent. Like, for instance, if I met a guy who just got out of a relationship a few months ago, but he has been traumatized by that, and he's in therapy, and he's like, it's taking me time to really trust. I need time by myself, but we met each other, and I want to continue, to engage with you. Are you willing to accept this time frame while I heal? Different things like that. I can understand that, but I have to also put my feelings first. At this point in my life, do I want to do that? And if I do that, am I open to dating other people? I think in that situation, I would be like, okay, I do enjoy our company, but I'm still going to keep the door open for other people, because you're stating right now, you're not ready to commit, but I know I'm looking for commitment. So if I do feel like I have a connection with this person, I'm not going to just keep my eggs in one basket. I'm going to continue to online date, to speak to other people, but I'm going to make it open to him to know that that's what I'm doing.
So I want to ask you an honest question. Sure. And this is because we talk a lot about first dates, second dates, and stuff like that. What are some of the common things that are discussed on a first or second date?
You know what I never used to do? I never used to ask the guy what he's looking for. I used to just let it flow. Now, first date, I'd be like, all right, so what are you looking for? Do you want to get married?
Before that, what are some of the common things that you said, or women say, or men say on first or second dates? Because what you're looking for is not a common ask, because that's more of a negotiation thing. So
that's true.
I want to get to what mistakes we do make on first dates.
Well, first dates, I know I'm a bubbly, talkative person, so I don't like to overwhelm people, or people feel like they're on an interview. But I feel like in first dates, I'm always the one that's the initiator for the conversations, or I'm the one to try to break the ice. So me, I always ask questions like, do you like to travel? What you do for work? The cookie cutter questions, I guess. What do you enjoy? What do you like to eat? Do you drink? Have you been in different restaurants before? What do you do in your pastime? What are you passionate about? Try to learn about their background, where they're born, where they were born, if they were born in another country, just different, small talk, elevator type talk, whatever, just to try to get to know somebody, I guess. I don't ask hard questions. And I think one thing I learned from you is to start asking some hard questions, because my sugar cookie questions don't be getting me too far nowadays in dates. I need to get to the hard question. So I'm going to start doing that.
Well, definitely. I wanted to piggyback off of what you said. All the stuff that you asked, how does that give a man that you're interested in a timeline or a list of goals you plan to achieve in a relationship with them? A lot of the questions you said was just, as you said, elevator talk. That's what you say to somebody you don't tend to speak to ever again.
You know what it is that it's hard for me to, as I said, I'm a very open person. So it's hard for me to really feel like I'm not going too far. And then I should feel comfortable in being who I am. So I guess I'm still kind of struggling on the fact of my personality and how open and direct that can be at times, and how it may be, I don't want to come off intimidating. And so I feel like I have that strong personality, and I kind of hear that in the back of my mind that I need to get over, that I have a strong personality and I may, but I feel like the person for me should be able to compliment me or learn how to, diverse the conversation. Or if you have like me and you, how we vibe, like we both have high energy, we both talk. So, but we're able to respect each other's space and time. Like we never over talk each other. So I feel like if I found someone who can understand that, or can take me down, like, oh, Dominique, you talking too much, or Dominique, let me speak, or whatever the case may be. Like even if they're an introvert, or they're not really, I should be able to still have a dialect with you, and I just feel like that's hard for me to find.
So that would be your relationship challenge. If it's too hard for you to do, then you got to start putting yourself to the task to actually do it to see what the other outcome is. Because now I'm going to ask you another question, which is the opposite of what I just asked you. What are some of the questions that should be asked on a first date that would give more concretized communication towards what you want in a relationship?
I think a question would be, I really like to know about people's childhoods, because I feel like that really affects who you are as a person. I'm a person that's an open book about my childhood. I know a lot of people are not really, either they'll talk about it or they don't. So, but I feel that defines people as a character. So I honestly like to date men that parents are still together. So that's a question that I would like to ask more. Like, are your parents still together? And if they are, what do you feel kept them together? Like, I would like to know the dynamic of their families. I'm not being judgmental. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, I'll never, like, if I met a perfect guy and then he says, oh, his parents have been separated, it's not like I won't give him a chance. But I prefer to date a man that parents are still together.
Well, then the question becomes, in our communities, how often do families stay together?
I mean, I've the last few that I've dated, their parents are still together. They're still out there. Not saying that just because their parents put together, it's the perfect things. Because I know a friend whose parents are still together, and his father stepped out, and the mother knew, but they worked it out. But as you said, cheating is sometimes not a reason to break up or to get divorced. And infidelity happens, especially if you've been with somebody for 50 years. Like, you've been with somebody since you were 18. Of course, there are some changes or things to go about. Not condoning that cheating is okay in marriages, just saying those are the things that can happen, So
I see a lot of people's that parents are together. You have to examine what you know about that togetherness. Because just because you're still married doesn't mean both parents laid a good foundation or a blueprint for the kids that they had. So my questions would be more geared towards what conflict resolution skills did you learn from your parents?
Let me write that down.
You got to know if they're able to resolve, and if they stay together, what keeps them together. You can't just say because they love each other, because a lot of times parents do stay together just for the kids. So I'm just pointing out that just because they're together doesn't mean that you're going to get a good person out of it. Because some people have trauma from their parents that they don't know how to deal with. So
that's what I learned.
I dated one person who parents were married, and they constantly tried to control me through my actions or through our conflict that we had to make sure that she was never controlled like the way that she felt her father controlled her mother. And I used to say to her, but I'm not your father and you're not your mother. We don't even have that relationship. So why does your feelings towards your parents have to affect our relationship? But she didn't know how to get out of that. So, we didn't make it. But I knew from seeing parents together and seeing parents break up that there's many aspects that it comes to dating that kids will never understand. But you can never apply what you felt that damaged you to what you're currently going through, unless it's the exact same thing that's playing out.
You know what I heard also that is very interesting, and I spoke to one of my exes about. I forgot where I heard this from, but interview your ex and ask your ex why it didn't work out, what characteristics that they didn't like about you and stuff like that. So I actually reconnected with one of my exes. We're friends. And I asked, and I was just like, oh, wow, I never knew that bothered you about me. Like, just different things. We were younger. And of course, me in my 20s, I was a little something. But I can understand why he felt that way. And I was just like, oh, wow, like, maybe I should get on the phone with some other exes and see what happened, and start taking some notes. Not saying, we're perfect, timing, different things happen. You're not meant to be with that person, whatever the case may be, but it's just good to hear that insight. Or like, why did you feel we didn't break up? Like, we really didn't communicate about that. That was like really dumb. Like, you know, you start to look at little small things, but those are big things that added up to the dissolve of that relationship, you know?
Well, I would say if you are cool with some of your exes, that's a great way to figure out if what you thought ruined the relationship is the same thing. That'll let you know if you're on the same page or not. Because if you thought it was this and they thought it was that, then damn, y'all would fall off. That's why you didn't make it. But yeah, I don't think I want to hear from my exes.
Well, you married. I'm trying to still figure shit out. Like, so I can interview people. You done with the interviewing process. You done.
Like when everybody asks me, like, why didn't your first marriage work out? I know everything that I did to contribute to it. I can't blame her for why we didn't make it. I know where I fell short because now I'm married and I look back at what I had before and what I have now, and I'm just like, wow, my ability to express myself in what I feel is wrong, my ability to lead the conversation into a healthy dialogue, or how to resolve it without it escalating, without crossing the line. All that stuff came with maturity. It didn't come from me being just young. It came from, okay, a lot of hurt, a lot of, therapy, a lot of reading, a lot of things. So I know, oh, this is how you assess it. This is how you break down. This is how you reach somebody. This is how you know if somebody actually is listening versus trying to return or refute what you're saying. A lot of times people listen to
resolution is very important. And I've learned I'm the type of person, if I'm upset, it is not the good time to hear me. I am not hearing you. I've learned that I'm the type of person when I'm very emotional and upset, I got to write it down like I'm in a business meeting, like I'm conflict resolution. I got to pin out different things. I got to say what I got to say. And I got to do it when I'm in a calm mode, because my emotions will just have me not even talking about what happened. I'm just still stuck on the feeling. Like, you make me feel this way and I can't get over it. And I just feel like that's just not the way to be. So I've learned personally that in the heat of the night or in the heat of the motion, I gotta, you're like, you know what? I can't talk about this right now. I need some time to really grasp everything. And then I'm gonna holler at you when I'm able to hear you out. And I know sometimes that may not be okay, because sometimes you may need to speak about something in the heat of the moment, or you need to know how to react in the heat of the moment. Like me, I'm the type of person, I didn't know time and place. If I was upset, fuck it, I'm mad. I don't give a fuck. Party done. But now I'm the type of person, okay, honey, we need to talk about this at a later time. Or let's step aside and at least just cool the moment. And like, I didn't appreciate what you said, but right now it's not a good time to talk about that. But I'm just going to express how this made me feel, or vice versa. Let's step aside, let's cool down, and then go back and revisit where we were at. Now I know how to act. Before I didn't. I was a firecracker.
Well, it's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with pushing back the conversation, as long as it doesn't affect your relationship going forward. Like, you should know your partner. Y'all should know each other. You should know when somebody needs a timeout. I used to hate being told that they didn't want to talk now, but then they wake me up at 6 a.m. before they go to work to talk. And I'm like,
oh no, you gotta be considerate of people's time.
Now you're gonna get all the heat that I was holding versus a regular conversation, because I'm gonna blow up from you waking me up for nothing. Finish it. When I wanted to talk, you didn't want to talk, but this is not the time. You kind of do it on purpose so you can say what you want and walk away. And that's not good conflict resolution skills.
No, I think you should have an adult conversation with, like, wow, that's a lot to digest at that moment. I had a situation where me and my friend, we were not seeing eye to eye on something, and when they approached that to me, I was just like, wow, I really didn't know how to approach it at that time. And I addressed it like, I'm sorry you felt that way. This is a lot for me to handle right now. When you are free, I would like to discuss this, but I do need some time to digest what you said and to have an open conversation where we could move forward. And I think that was the best way to handle it at that time, and to respect people's feelings and also set your own boundaries, to respect that person, that, because the old me be like, you know, and like 2 weeks later, hey, yeah, I'm sorry. But I'm not like that anymore. Me, I'm like, all right, I gotta respect this person's feelings because they came to me and opened up to me how they felt. So I gotta, because I care about that person. I'm like, listen, wow, I didn't know that. I don't know what to say right now, but I'm gonna need some time. You obviously need some time. And when we revisit, I would like to conflict resolution, hear yourself out, hear me out, and then let's move forward. So I feel like shout out to therapy and shout out to me just maturing and being a better person and really respecting people's boundaries and respecting people's feelings, that I'm able to move forward that way.
So let's bring it back to the topic at hand. I did
know, my
not
bad.
sign up for this. Do you think relationships going forward should be more
Yes.
of a negotiation
Yes.
versus a what do you like, candy flowers conversation?
It needs to be negotiation, especially at this time in my life. I feel like it's important to know what you're getting yourself into, because you're setting yourself up for expectations to be failed if you do not go into something not knowing what people's negotiations are. Like, listen, like in our role play, like in our role play, you said that you want to focus on your career. She probably wouldn't have had a rebuttal for that if she didn't know from the beginning that that's what he wanted. Like from the jump, right now I'm focusing on my career, and I wouldn't feel comfortable marrying you if I'm not financially stable or happy with myself. And I think a lot of people, they jump into relationships thinking that the person is going to complete them, and that all their personal goals and feelings and everything is just going to finish because they've become one with another person. I feel like you said in our last episode, that you're not going to find the person or be ready for the person you're supposed to be with until you are at your highest potential, or you are at your best. And I feel a lot of people don't give other people that time and grace to become their best.
Everybody wants a fast, microwavable, hit start, hit send, because we're in that society. Nobody has patience. I was talking to my kids the other day about pen pals. Like, you write a letter, you don't know if they got it. You wait, and you get a letter back, and you be excited because you're ready and you want to send another one. That's patience. That's time.
Yeah.
Now y'all get everything immediately, so you expect
Yep.
everything to be like that. That's not how life is. So that, yeah, I'll definitely agree with that one. So what are 3 things going forward that you will ask on a first date,
Lord,
to solidify what you're signing up for?
Number 1, I need to know if the person is happy with themselves.
Good one.
So the questions that I'm going to ask is going to be definitely triggered on, are you happy as a person right now in your life? So those things I would want to ask. That would be the number 1, if you're happy where you're at right now in life. Number 2, definitely, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I feel like if a person has a timeline or a goal in their head of things that they want to accomplish, they're a person that I would admire, because I like goal setting people. I like people who are determined to not just feather through life. Like, they have goals and they have future, they have plans, because I like goal oriented, organized people, because that keeps me on my toes. And number 3, I want to know about their past relationships. I want to dig deep. I need to find out what happened, what went wrong. Y'all still got something going on or not? Because you be thinking things is over and it ain't over. And that has been my downfall to a lot of prior relationships. The last long-term relationship I was in, I thought it was over. And 3 years in the relationship, it wasn't over. He went back to the other person.
So I like your 3 questions. I want you to make sure that when you ask these questions, you go a little bit further and peel back the layer of what their answers are. Because a lot of times you ask somebody, like, what is your 5-year plan? If I have a 5-year plan in mind, I can tell you my 5-year plan. Do I ever do anything to put those plans in motion? How long has this 5-year plan been a plan?
What are
Oriented and still focused. He has a 5-year plan.
What is it? Don't die?
you doing? Hold on. What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you currently doing to get to that
To get
5-year
to that
plan?
plan.
How do you feel like, what can you do in 1 year to accomplish that? What can you
I
do
swear,
in 6
Anthony,
months?
you won't get me married. You won't get me married.
I'm just saying.
Listen, viewers, I'm gonna get married and y'all gonna get married too. So y'all better be getting out the pen and the paper too.
Because a lot of times though that question, it's open and it's blanket. So you got to get to the concrete of actually what is their intentions behind telling me something good versus, our society, we're all overweight. How many people said that they was going to lose weight? How many people said that they had a goal in mind, they was going to diet, and then it never comes to fruition? At some point, you got to ask us, so what are you doing? How goal oriented are you to stick to that plan? How goal oriented are you going to get up and work out every day? Like we're gonna always tell the right answers, but sometimes once they give you that information, as I always tell you, once they give you the information, push back on the next date about that information. Push back in a few weeks and see if they're working towards their goal, and ask them how could you help them. And if you're working harder towards their goals than they are, kind of tells you early on that it's not a good investment.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
If you were not married, how would you scope the dating world now? Because we all say, the single people say it's ghetto. What is your perspective?
I wouldn't say it's ghetto. I would say that
because you married. I'm sorry.
But remember, before I was married, I was single.
I know, but it's got ghettoer out there. If that's even a word.
It didn't get ghettoer. Society has given you things fast.
Ghettoer.
Technology triples, quadruples every day, not every week, not every month, every day. Something is going to the next thing to get you 6G, 8G, 4K. They're always working towards that. Yet what society standards are still so outdated. So the phones are telling us we should get it now. So our expectations are now. But a person's character, the person's essence, their aura, all that stuff takes time to build. And every day you can have one tumultuous situation that will delay your process. So that's you got to have grace. You got to have patience. So if I was out there dating right now, I would be more direct and more communicative on what I want and what I need. Like one thing that I used to say is, I know I have a high sex drive. When the conversation of intimacy comes up, I'm going to ask, how good is your sex drive? Because if you're not honest with me, guess what's going to happen?
You're going to find out.
No, you're going to want to make me cheat if you're not on my sex drive.
Yeah, exactly.
So either be honest with me or don't. If I got a certain type of freakiness that needs to be achieved, you need to know that. If you got one that's higher than mine, I need to know that to let me know if I can fulfill you. The worst thing that a man could do is not fulfill a woman sexually. If you need a cartwheel and a feather duster and all stuff like that, and I don't know I can provide that, then I need to know that, oh, this is the job that I don't want to take. So yeah, you just got to be honest and direct. I don't think it's ghetto. I just think people are not asking the right questions. People are not direct.
Do you feel that in the topic of this is not what I signed up for, social media plays a topic in that? Because a lot of people feel like they're quick when they're first dating people to follow their social media so they can really know the person, or they feel like they get a better glimpse of a person's life. But as we stated earlier, that social media can be a perception or a filter of what that person's life really is. So do you feel that social media helps to you not be in that situation, or it may deflect from it?
Social media helps. Any research that you can do on a person that doesn't involve them answering a question is helpful. It gives you a blueprint immediately. So if I go across your social media and it says long dong silver flipping something, and you're a girl, in my mind, why would it be long dong? That's a red flag for me. If all your post is quotes and memes from other people, that means, okay, so nothing's going on in your life. You got to repost every meme in the world. That's a red flag for me. If all of your post is you twerking or freaking or something like that, I'm not looking at this saying, wow, I can't wait to marry her. But it gives you a blueprint to what this person could be. Now, if they're, as we say, social media font matches their real life, then you know exactly what it is. But sometimes you can go out with somebody and it can be completely different. But then now I got a question. If your social media is all this and you're different in front of me, do you go chameleon whenever you need to? So it's social media gives you a lot and you need to pay attention to it. And when you see things, yeah, you can call it out, but don't take it, so much that it's law. It's not law. I just need to ask you about it. Now, if I'm single and you're single and I start talking to you and you're still posting stuff that has to do with maybe guys or something like that, I can't take it personal if that's what you already did and I haven't claimed you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, after I claim you, I can't expect you to change. You are who you are. And I knew that coming in. Unless we agree that we're going to tone it down or something like that. So
a turn off to me on dating platforms like online dating, when somebody automatically asks me what's my social media, or they have their social, like they have their IG on their dating platform. I just think I just don't feel like that's necessary. I feel like, let me get to know you first. Like, let me have a decent conversation with you before you go checking out my Instagram. I mean, I have nothing to hide. I have a public Instagram, so you can find me, but I'm not going to be like, like if it's LinkedIn or something, like a job, like, I just don't feel like it's necessary to have your social media on your page.
Well, you can, but the question is, what is it that you want me to see that I can't see here?
I mean, you're going to see the same thing, but the thing about it is that I don't know why it's so weird, and I'm really trying to dissect why I feel like it's a bad. I just feel like, give me opportunity just to speak to you. Like, let me just, because how I feel is that social media is like if you look at my social media, I feel someone will look at me as a person that takes selfies a lot, travels, she has a business, she has a podcast, but you may get a perception that I'm all about this, like just the physical, but I'm a very deep person. But I just don't go that. I go more deeper in my stories than I do in my posts. I'm a very deep / shallow person. I don't know. It's like, I'm all about the glitz and the glam and the beauty and stuff like that. And that doesn't have to be shallow. That could be a cliche. But I'm a very deep person. Like, I'm into poetry. I'm into different things that I love to talk about emotion. I'm so about mental health. I'm so about politics and I just got into politics. I ain't going front, but now I am, like, I'm really deep into that. I'm deep into like learning more about people and the earth and different things like that. But that's not what it's shown on, that. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with my image, but I just don't want you to get that first perception of me,
So it sounds like, which is weird, you're talking about how people view your Instagram while saying you don't want nobody's IG on the dating profile. So are you worried about the judgment, or are you personalizing the judgment for yourself? I'm trying to understand it.
I want you to get to know me for me. Like, and I guess maybe it's in my head too, because I've always heard all throughout my life, yo, you mad cool, you look like you all stuck up and da. And so I feel like people get that perception of me, and I don't want people to have that perception of me, but I still want to be who I am. I still love taking a selfie and looking cute and vacationing. So I just feel like I don't want you to, but then I feel like maybe, you're not that deep of a person if you're going to judge me based on that, but I still want a clean slate. But I guess you can never have a clean slate nowadays, because there's always something, there. It's different from when we used to have the aim than it is, IG and Facebook and TikTok and all the different things like that.
So you have some things to work on.
I do. That, right? I'm in therapy.
Because I'm going to ask you, why the hell do you care about people's perception that don't know you and you may never meet ever a day in your life? That is too much work. Because
I'm dumb.
The last thing I care about is what somebody perceives me to be. Now, if you see me in person and we have a conversation and you're like, this is what I feel about you after a conversation, that's one thing. But you know how many times I met people at my old job? I used to work in a finance department downtown, and it's like a bunch of cubicles we all there. And one person that I finally like hung out with, we were drinking, she was like, I never liked you. I was like, why? She's like, because you always walk around here like you that guy and like you run everything and stuff like that. I was like, I'm mad you got that perception, but I am that guy. I don't run everything, but I am that guy. That's why everybody here knows me. That's why everybody likes me. That's why everybody wants to hug me. That's why everybody talks to me, because they love my energy. Yeah, I am that guy, but you should not like me because of that. I thought I did something to you when you first said you didn't like me. But why would I care if that's her feelings about me and I'm comfortable with who I am? So yeah, don't worry about IGs and what people's perceptions are. I don't even really read comments when people say stuff, because in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to personalize it. I don't want to argue back and forth with people. Yeah. I'd rather block you when I see something negative.
Yeah. Luckily, I've never had any. I did once. I posted like and that's how I never like during the Black movement, like it's still a movement, but like at the pit of it, like, or the peak of it, I would start posting stuff, and this white guy hit me up on Instagram, and I'm going back and forth with him, and that was the first time I ever got the heat, like, and it had nothing to do with my preference. It was just my opinion on, the Black struggle, and he was like, "Oh, well, we all struggling." I was like,
but why do you expect a white person to understand the Black struggle?
Exactly. And that's my friend that's my friend was like, my friend that's an activist, and she's in the movement, and I've learned a lot from her. She's like, "Dominique, what you wasting your energy on him for?" He don't know, like, you wasting your energy.
Either they cool like Justin Bieber or they're not. And even then, Bieber has said some questionable things, done some questionable things, but I'm not going to sit there and try to get him to understand it. Either you understand it or you don't. But the system that's in play that doesn't actually benefit a lot of African Americans, it's in play because they don't have any connection to us. So they don't see anything. It's almost like we sat here and we see, and this is, I don't mean to go off topic, but we're going to bring it back after this point.
Yeah.
We seen the crack era. Every Black neighborhood has seen the crack era. If you were born in the 80s or lived in the 80s, we seen laws put in place that sent the dealers and the users to jail. We also found out later on that it was the president and the government bringing in the drugs and the weapons for the cartels, and then trying to find buyers to sell it. So you bring it in, you put it in our neighborhood, you blame us, you lock us up. Years later, we have an opioid crisis, or we have a 2K crisis, or we have a Four Loko crisis. And now it's people need help, but they need help because now it's your people being affected. So it's a different tone. It's a different delivery. So I can't expect a white person to understand a Black struggle if they're ignorant. And a lot of people get the word ignorant confused. Not ignorant as being dumb, but ignorant meaning unaware.
Naive.
If you go to court, the judge will say, ignorance is no excuse of the law. They're not saying you're stupid. They say, just because you wasn't aware that this was a law, I'm still giving your ass the max. That's what that means. So if they're ignorant to understanding the laws that are in place or the systems that are in place, if they even taught it more in history versus how they stole the landmass and divided it up and still telling us that Christopher Columbus discovered America, when turns out he didn't discover America. So why am I trying to understand this system that's corrupt or well, let's not get on that because we don't want to turn a lot of listeners off, because once you start talking politics and government, it goes out.
So I have a question about the topic at hand. Let's get back to basics. All right. So you said you heard a lot of women say that I didn't sign up for this, but are they saying it to their friends or are they saying it to their partners? Do you feel?
I feel like I've heard the phrase "I didn't sign up to this" from mainly women, but mainly women that are ready to go.
But do you think they ever said that to them? Like, well, I didn't sign up for this.
When I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
When they're ready to bounce on a relationship, when they're giving up, they're like, I didn't sign up for this. You had 3 years to tell me what you signed up for. You had 3 years to communicate what you signed up for. You had 3 years earlier to leave. Why now?
That leads me to the high statistic of why women aren't, the ones who do divorce. That's the legal way of saying I didn't sign up for this shit. I want a divorce.
So the last area that I want to touch on is something that me and my fellas joke about all the time.
All right.
We love sports.
Yeah.
And every sport has some contractual agreement between the player and the organization. Some of our single friends actually have women on contracts, meaning I got her for 6 months, and she knows she on the 6 months, and if she plays her role right, I'm gonna extend her contract.
Halfway.
Do you agree with that notion going forward in dating that we should start off with a 6-month contract, and if we like each other after that, we should extend it? Or even marriages, should they start off with a year contract and decide that they want to extend it after a year?
You know what? I was thinking to myself, with the high divorce rate, what about if a domestic partnership? Like, I don't know if that exists now, because I know like now they have same sex marriages that kind of took over domestic partnerships. That's why they had them. But if I was really in a relationship with someone and they were not sure of marriage and they wanted to do a domestic partnership first to see how it work out, at least they want to commit to something.
You gotta check. You gotta check out your state, your county to see if the laws are in place.
I you're being honest, and I would rather know that I'm on short time. I'm doing a bid or whatever the case may be. I would be okay to it. It went, hey, maybe that's what I need. Give me 6 months. Like, let's figure it out, and let's see what the next steps is gonna be. I mean, do they express this to the girls, or mentally in their head they be like on a clock? Or they tell the girl that, yo, this is 6 months.
To be honest, I personally believe the people that I have in mind that have done this or still doing it, it depends on the woman.
So they won't do that. Okay, so they have they're skeptical of the woman, so they're giving them 6 months, basically.
The ones that they can't communicate with, they won't tell them that they on a 6-month contract. The ones that are very like direct and stuff like that, like you said earlier, I would like a guy to tell me that all he wants to do is cut, and maybe that's what I want. That's what I'm saying. So some of them actually have some women that are direct and like, yo, just tell me what you want and I'll let you know if I'm down with it. Some of them be like, so this is what I need, this is what I want, and if you're down with that, cool. And a lot of the women be like, yeah, I'm good with that. And I'll be like, wow, it's different out here, huh?
I don't think I could be in a relationship with somebody who just wanted sex from me. It had to be more. I'm the type of person, I need more of a connection in order to have a attraction to have sex. So I need conversation. I need to feel some type of connection or togetherness or quality time spent. I've never been a person where I could just have sex and then like, all right, see you when I need some more. I've just never been that type of person. So if a man communicated to me that's all he wanted from me, then no, I couldn't do it. But if a guy said, you know what, I have some reservations, I want to try to see how this would work in 6 months, like dating you, us monogamous, us either, dating one another or being open. I'd rather know the terms because I know what I'm dealing with. I can't be like, oh, I didn't sign up for this shit. Like I signed up for this shit. So it's like, and if it didn't last, then I'm the one who signed up for this shit. So I'd rather know what I signed up for. So it depends on the contract, I guess, for me.
So my last question for you, because that's all I have left on my board. Going forward, will you A, be more direct in what you need in your dating experience? And B, would you be more direct with your contractual agreements with fellas going forward? Like in the 6-month span, if I don't see X, Y, Z from you, I'm out of it. Will you now take on those two aspects now that we had this podcast?
Definitely, I will be more direct in my beginning dating. I will take that from you. I feel like I am like the sugar cookie in the beginning. So sweet. And, of course you want to go out on a second date with me. It's fun. We're laughing. I'm asking you these sugar cookie questions and, it's cute and all, but I feel I would be more, not aggressive, assertive in my questions when dating. When it comes to the negotiations of contracts, yes, I will be open. I'm like, listen, I'm thinking about relocating. So if I'm gonna relocate, I'm letting people know, like, listen, if nothing really happens within my love life where I'm feeling the urge to stay, because I have an ability to be mobile with my job and move around, it's a factor that I may not be here the next year or the next 8 months. And I feel I should be open with that, because a person may be looking for somebody who wants to just stay in the tri-state area. And me, I'm now open with the fact that I may want to move out of state farther. So I feel like I do need to have negotiations, and I feel like I should be more open and direct of where I'm going. So yes, definitely would be more contractual.
So do you got any questions for me and anything that you want to end off for before we go to the last segment?
How would you feel if you were in the dating world and someone and a woman came to you with a contract? How would that make you feel? Not a sexual contract, but like, say, hey, I've been through a lot, recently, and I need to know if someone is serious about me. I'm gonna do a 6-month trial with you and see how this works, and this is what I'm expecting. And if I don't get this feeling or this notion, or I feel like this is not going anywhere within that 6 months, my time with you has expired. How would that make you feel?
It would make me feel great, because at least I know what we're working towards. At least I know the time frame. At least I know the directness. And I've been on sexual contracts before, and that's like the go-to whenever the guy is not treating her right, or whenever she doesn't want to get another body. So when I was single, I've been in that sexual contract before. So to be in a dating contract, to actually understand what we're working towards, that would be dope. I know I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want you to waste your time. But if you're not vocal, and I feel like a lot of times women aren't as vocal as what they want in a relationship, and fellas aren't vocal what they want because they don't want to miss out on the opportunity to get some. But if both of us are not direct, then we're wasting our time anyway. Somebody has to be direct.
Another question to you, even at this age, I just feel like men are still so thirsty to get, and I might get, slammed out for this, but why y'all so thirsty for the pussy? Like, for me, I just feel like it's just too much. It's so much women out there that you can get it, at a less stress. Why do some men focus on that one thing that they can't get? Like, I know it's the chase but then they be like, oh, I did all this, I did that. Like, if you know that's all you want to do and you're not getting it by the first or the second chance, give up, bro. Like, why you stressing yourself out? I can never get that about a man.
Well,
give me some insight on that.
There are many different mindsets out there.
Yeah.
And you're speaking to a specific type of man. One, when you said, I did this and I did this, that's a person that is more transactional. Because I did this, I should get this. Then you have guys that have the mindset that are like, I need to conquer this person by all means, by any means necessary. So I'm gonna keep trying to conquer this person. Then you have the guys that know it's so easy, I'm not gonna put in no effort here.
Yeah.
So it's all about who you're dealing with, because we know, and I feel like women have the notion by society saying when a woman meets a man, she knows that she's gonna have sex with him from the first time she meets him. And on the flip side, a man knows when he meets a woman if he can have sex with her.
I always try to think that way. Like, I'm reflecting on all the guys that I've been intimate with, or the guys that I thought about being intimate with. Did I really think about it? And it's weird, because the last few guys I've dated, I did not look at them that way. So I'm just like, okay, what is going on with my? I don't know. I don't know.
Go to some of your closest guy friends and ask them directly what I'm saying. Have you ever met a girl and like either shook her hand or hugged her and said, oh, I know I could flip this? And they're going to be like, yeah, because there's a certain energy that you get from a woman when you meet her and you're like, oh, she do X, Y, Z, just so that this is an easy kill.
Yeah.
And then there's some women that you meet and you'll be like, damn, this is going to be work. The aura, the stance, the delivery, there's uncommunicative signs that'll let you know where you at.
Yeah.
So when we get somebody we know is easy kill, we're not going to go kill them. We're going to be like, okay, I know this is there. They're letting me know the aura and the energy they're giving over that it's an easy kill. So I can hit this person up anytime and kill. Now, the person that's going to be a little more work, I might put more effort into because it's work. And the person that's untouchable, I'm not going to even talk to because I don't want to put in the work.
I don't want to waste my time. Yeah.
So
Get
it depends on the person, and it depends on the woman we're going after. So I hope that's some free game for you, but whoever's listening, it's not just one way.
Take the notes.
It's not just one way, because a lot of times, like, women have all control in sex. Yes, they do. You can't not have sex with a woman if she says no.
If she says no, yeah.
But at the same time, women give you the power to get some, and then you have the power to mess it up.
That is true.
So with that being said, we can start wrapping it up because we talked about it for a while, and I hope everybody enjoyed the conversation. Sorry for deviating from the topic here and there, but
that's how we do sometimes.
never intend to offend. We never intend to make anybody personalize what we're saying. No. It's just a discussion.
Our experiences.
So, last segment, DNA Decoded. What is the recap that you have for the folks?
Well, my recap for the show or the podcast, the show and podcast, I would say is, with the phrase, I did not sign up for this shit, you did. You got to take accountability that you at one point knew where you were at. Unless you got thrown out of nowhere, it's mystery. But I feel, especially as women, we always have an intuition. We always have a sense. We always have a feeling of the things that we get into. So we can never say that I did not sign up for this shit. You could just say that I did not know that I would still be in this shit. I think we should change our perspective on a lot of different things and what we accept, and learn something new about these contracts. I'm gonna start giving out some. You know, I'm not gonna let the man tell me I got 6 months. I'm gonna let him know he got 6 months.
In terms of contracts, just like the sport, there's always a new phenomenal rookie coming out of a draft class.
Ready to take your place.
Somebody is always available to be the next starter, to be the next superstar. So don't overthink the situation. Assess who you are, assess what you need, and be direct going forward.
Yeah.
And the last relationship tip I have on wrapping it up is the person who talks the most reveals the most. Listen, the reason why men allow women to talk on dates so we can get all the ammunition we need to take you down.
Dominique, shut up.
Stop telling us what we can do to get some, and start telling us what we can do to make you a wife.
Bang, bang.
And I'll end it on that.
That needs to be a caption. Stop telling me what I need to do to get some, and I'm gonna need to start telling you what I need to be. Whatever, you're gonna write it down and text it to me. I'll make that my caption so they know it's real when they see my IG.
So as always, thank you for tuning in. Renee, thank you for always recording with me. I look forward to recording with you soon.
Me too.
Everybody, please go to all your podcast platforms and search the Relationship DNA, and please subscribe. We need subscriptions. We need downloads to know that we actually have an audience.
Yes, that we actually making sense.
Don't forget to visit us on www.therelationshipdna.com. Please send us an email at therelationshipdna@gmail.com. Questions, feedback, anything we accept. If you want to be a guest, we will try to invite anybody that wants to be on the show to answer the questions as well. I throw the alley-oops and I allow Renee to dunk it. You come in and throw a pass as well. So with that being said, thank you for coming out. We about to get out of here. Peace.